So we have Alex and Alex. No, I haven't blibbed. They're both called Alex. Big round of applause. One of our main sponsors, MetaMinds, and they'll be talking to us about how is Skynet already active, how to build teams that can win the AI war. Everybody, make sure you hear. Off you go. Thank you.
Where is the clicker?
You need a clicker.
Yeah. This one.
Well, yeah, this one doesn't. Okay.
Let's see if it works.
I don't think this will work because this works. Let me just. That clicker is what you need.
Yeah.
Oh, this one. We're pros. We're pros.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
So, can we hear?
Yeah.
Do you hear us? Yeah. Thank you. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being with us today. I hope you had your coffee, so let's dive into it. Based on what you're seeing in the industry, what do you think? Is Skynet already active? So why Skynet? And I have a question for you. Can you raise a hand who knows about Skynet? Oh, great. I wanted to see who are the fans in the audience. So for the ones who don't recognize the logo, Skynet is the AI, the brains behind the Terminator operation. Skynet, in the Terminator movie, was the AI. The brains, as I said, from the Terminator operation. And today, Skynet is our nemesis and our case study. As just the T-1000 came from the future, the bad Arnold, we are here to talk about the future that is in front of us and how we can keep up with it. Today, we have prepared some key points and some questions that we hope will give you something to think about after you go home. I'm Alexandru Darie, I'm a cloud architect at MetaMinds, and here is my dear colleague, Alexandru Petcu, who is a cloud infrastructure team leader. So what connects us? We met in the telco world a long time ago, where we were involved in major projects, serving millions of subscribers, and working part of large teams, learning firsthand what scale, complexity, and accountability really looks like. Today, we are part of a smaller team, but more dynamic, but one that still thinks big and builds seriously and delivers at scale. And that journey from large enterprise projects to fast-moving teams is part of their story today. And I have a question for you. Do you think you'll remain relevant as a professional in the years to come? Great. And we'll park this for a moment and come back to this. For me, for example, it's starting to take a toll. I'm starting to question what I can do, what I can deliver, what skills I can add, and how I can stay connected with all the things that are being built at the moment. Because every day you see something being released by Anthropic, by OpenAI, and the fear is there. You see a new skill that will make front-end engineers obsolete, or a new cloud feature that will make UI designers extinct. So every week, every couple of weeks, it feels like we kill another job and other tasks. So where does this leave us? Let's pause this grim thought for a moment and have some engineering fun, let's say, together. We prepared for you some simulations to talk on, and I will start. Alex, what do you think? With your cloud subscription right now, a max one, Can you deliver this one?
This is a small cloud platform with a bit of CI/CD. So with all the AI tools at my disposal, I think Skynet and I can have a proof of concept for this in a couple of weeks and a production system ready in a few months. This isn't something difficult.
Okay, so let's go to another level. This one, what do you need? Do you need our colleague who is a cloud expert in this case?
This is
to
a bit
help you?
trickier, but doable. Here I'll need some help. A small team with various skills and knowledge of AI tools should be able to have a proof of concept in, let's say, 2 months, and have it production ready and have the polyclinic serve customers in half a year.
Good answer, you passed. So now let's take it, or let's get more serious. What about a 4 regional data center, a sovereign cloud solution for the public sector? What do you need here?
This project is a lot larger and requires serious preparation and on-the-fly decision-making. So I believe we need multiple teams working together closely to deliver this one.
Claude or GPT or Gemini can't do this at the moment?
Not at all. Not unless they can plug servers into racks or cables into switches or adjust budgets and configurations on the fly without going into death loops. For us to be able to deliver a project like this, we would need a dedicated program team, a strong architecture team, multiple specialized engineers, vendor and hardware delivery coordination, and most importantly, clear faces like design, procurement, staging, deployment, testing, and finally handover.
Why you know all of this?
Because this is the project that we implemented last year, the government private cloud for the public sector.
Okay, so I will leave this on the background just to understand the complexity on what we had to do on only one data center. And I'm just going to say what defined this project was the involvement and the dedication of the people who solved what seemed to be an impossible job. Delivering this kind of project from scratch to production ready in a couple of months, not years, is the key point. And the main reason we are here today is because of this core team that we had and made this happen. And I believe these projects, these kind of projects can be studied, and the lesson learned that we have from them can be shared with you and build with them for the future. We were lucky, me and Alex, to be at the center of it and to observe everything closely. Alex worked with his team deploying all the platforms, and I was, as an architect, involved in all aspects of the project. What we actually needed to do? Well, meet client requirements, design architecture, deploy hardware network platforms, and on top of that, write documentation, who we all like. And for all 4 sites, not just for one, and all in parallel. Did AI help us do this?
Yes, definitely yes. But had we been able to deliver this on time without AI? No. AI helped us with automation, with documentation, with troubleshooting. It enhanced our productivity by 20–30% at least in some cases. So AI is not just a tool that we use. AI is changing the speed of reality because decisions move faster, development cycles shrink, architectures evolve, and roadmaps, they become fiction.
Using the AI tools that are on market today, what do you think? Can such a project be implemented?
Maybe. But here's the unpleasant thought. In 10 years, AI will deliver it faster, cleaner, and without all the stress. Because there is no future in creating value for businesses without the human touch and without building connections. Connections inside the teams, within organizations, and with customers. Because when you deliver a service or a product, you are part of an end-to-end journey. And the real value over time lies in the relationships that you build and the quality that you deliver. At least this is our belief. We need engineers to build the infrastructure. We need engineers to design the networks. We need architects to understand the shift in technology, from bare metal to VMs to containers. And AI fits as a core player in this evolution. There is still a significant amount of work to be done in the digitalization of services in Romania and in Central and Eastern Europe. And this will be accelerated with the help of AI. And you are in a fortunate position because the baseline is still low and the infrastructure for cloud-native, cloud-ready systems is here, ready to be adopted.
What did we learn from, or what is the most important thing that we learned from this project?
The reason we succeeded, it was not technology in this case. It was team design.
If tools are changing every week, how do we build teams that can still deliver under pressure?
Not with bigger roadmaps. Not with more Jira tickets. Not by adding the word AI to every slide until the presentation becomes sentient. You win with team architecture. Because AI is not replacing jobs. AI is replacing parts of workflows. And the workflows that survive are the ones that reconfigure fast. So I'll share a simple framework. 7 rules to help us survive. Simple, brutal, effective. So let me tell you some stories from the project and what we have learned from them. Rule number 1, missions, not positions. Because when things are on fire and need to be done yesterday, it doesn't matter if you're an engineer, a team lead, or a CTO. What matters is to get things done. So if a network cable is unplugged and the architect is in the data center, he goes and sticks that cable in the switch. Rule number 2, decentralize decisions. When one configuration needs approval from a chain of 4 people, it will be applied 2 weeks from now. But in a fast-moving project with tight deadlines, we need to trust the people who have the knowledge. So if the monitoring expert says that we need a certain annotation on the pods to be able to get traces from it, we don't set up 5 meetings to discuss it. We let him do the job we paid him for, without questioning every little decision. Rule number 3, tight feedback loops. A backend service was responding slowly. Nobody raised the flag because technically things were still functional. 3 days later, the database got saturated and the service crashed. A short daily sync asking what changed, what feels off, what might break tomorrow. It would have surfaced the issue and it would have gotten fixed before the crash. waiting for metrics to happen, for alarms to show up, is not a feedback loop. It's a post-mortem waiting to happen. Rule number 4, feasible ownership. At a point, the connection to one of the storage systems wasn't working. The storage team was blaming the network team was saying that it's some issue with the configuration on the storage. Both teams spent 40 minutes on a call trying to figure out who needs to do what. But the system was still down. If there had been one named owner, one definition of done, one escalation path, the problem would have been fixed within the first 5 minutes. Rule number 5, resilience over heroism. Let's say the only person who understands the deployment pipeline goes on vacation. But a release needs to go out in one of those days. So the rest of the team spends half a day going through undocumented scripts, and finally they message him on his day off. He logs in, he fixes the issue, everybody is relieved, but unfortunately nothing changes. If 3 months later he resigns, the pipeline, which is still undocumented and not rotated, takes the team down with him. So in this case, the hero does not save the team. The hero is the single point of failure. Rule number 6. AI is a teammate. At some point, an engineer used one of the AI tools to create a database migration script. They created the scripts in a few seconds. The engineer did a review. It got merged. Everything was fine until the database crashed, because the script apparently didn't know that there was a previous migration which was failed, and it dropped a table in the database. The AI was fast, it created the scripts in a second, but the judgment was not there. Speed was not the problem, skipping the thinking was. Finally, rule number 7, motivation is engineered. A mid-project review showed that the team was lagging behind. Leadership started to set up meetings and calls to figure out, to push people to move faster, but this just increased the pressure. If they would have spoken to the engineers, they would have found that some of them were thinking that their work isn't seen, and that a lot of feedback didn't receive any response in quite some time. Recognition costs nothing. Clarity costs nothing. Ignoring them could cost the project. So, will AI replace engineers? Maybe. But the better question is, which teams or individuals can adapt faster than the change itself? In our domain, one truth has always remained constant. Upskilling is necessary to stay relevant. But with AI, this is changing in a deeper way. Technical skills are no longer enough. AI will be able to do that soon enough. Human interaction is becoming just as important. It's not only about learning how to work with AI, but also about developing the human side of our identity. So I'll just leave this here for a few seconds and allow my colleague to take over.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, for all the interesting stories shared. So, guys, staying relevant is your choice, is our choice. Where do you want to be in the next years to come? What do I need to sacrifice in order to succeed? Am I in the right place to develop? Or do I have the right people around me? And do we have the same goals? These are some of the important questions that we would like you to take with you home. And I want you to remember something. All of these things that we discussed today, I'm sure that you all heard about, seen, and do. And you're all part of great teams, great projects. You are great individuals. But keep this in mind. If we don't push a little harder to add real value to our organizations, unfortunately, we might end up part of the cuts that we all hear about. And most of us will not be replaced by AI at the moment. We'll be replaced by other people who are more curious, more adaptable, and more resilient, and willing to learn how to work with AI, not against it. So, this brings us to the initial question. Is Skynet already active online? Maybe not, or I hope so, not in the Terminator script movie. But something is active. A global intelligence multiplier that rewards speed of learning, clarity of thinking, and quality of collaboration. And the ability to adapt and to redesign your process every time it's needed, that is the key. And unfortunately for us in this industry, in this room, this is not science fiction. For us, this is just another Monday morning. So when you leave this room, this keynote, we just want you to remember one thing: adaptable teams versus fragile organizations. Thank you all for being with us today. And